Hey, what's going on? This is the Objective Jerk, and I'm said jerk. I just got done, uploaded my last video, which talked about what appears to me to be fake white supremacists that marched on Independence Day in DC.
Because it's mind-boggling to you, yeah.
And there was a picture that the left-wing media was, oh my gosh, it's just like, whatever.
You're gonna cry? You're gonna cry, titty baby? Oh, you're gonna fucking cry?
There was a little black woman, and then on the train was a bunch of these white supremacists, right? Quote unquote. You know, they're trying to really push it like everything else, like it's this big deal, and it's really not. So I upload that, doing some stuff, and then I come across this video from the liberal hive mind, and I have not watched it. I'm trying to I just looked at the meme.
So that I may talk, squirrel.
Check out the meme on screen, that's pretty funny. Liberal hive mind, another pretty good channel. I think I've talked about them before. I will put the link in the description, but you know how to find it. Prior liberal guy who now points out like his catchphrase is
Today, Junior.
the hypocrisy on the left. He's pointing it all out. So I saw that it showed a picture of that woman on the train, and then I see his headline, well, this hoax fell apart quickly.
What a surprise!
So I have not watched this. I'm curious to see what's going on here. So let's check it out. I'm gonna skip past his little intro, but then get right into it.
So let's roll the tape. All right, folks. So here's, of course, the photo in question.
Yep,
and, of
there it
course,
is.
you can imagine how the mainstream media is portraying this. Rosa Parks on the metro. That's the narrative. But once again, it's utterly dishonest, and a desperate piece of propaganda is continuing.
Exactly. Man, I love it when I'm like proven or supported to be correct.
Yay, yay!
I mean, they were comparing it to a different photo from what I saw or what was in my video, but the Rosa Parks is kind of what comes to mind. But again, the Rosa Parks photo was a photo op. Supposedly, the incident did happen. I mean, at this point, I don't believe hardly anything, but history would tell you that, you know, she was on the bus. They're supposed to sit in the back because she was black. She refused to sit on the bus, so she went to jail, right? Well, the photo, the famous photo of her and like the white guy sitting there was fake. It was staged, much like most everything today. What, if any of it, is real?
You'd attempt to paint this backwards narrative. Then the unfortunate reality comes out. It all started off with a viral video, one keen, probably DC native recognizing the individual in the photo, and going back in the archives and finding this video here. I'm going to have to show it highly censored. But yeah, this is the same person.
Oh, shit. I thought that was AI. I did see this video. This chick rubbing her ass on the...
I tried to fart and a little shit came out. I just shorted.
I thought it was AI.
Yeah, like I said in the intro, she's a well-known homeless vagrant with a long history of causing chaos and engaging in indecent acts and disorderly conduct. The reports that I've read suggest that she's been repeatedly cited for indecent exposure, public urination, aggressive panhandling, and general disorderly conduct. In other words, the whole situation has utterly backfired. It's now become far more emblematic of the chaos, frankly, that Democrats have unleashed in major cities. I'd say much more so than the racial narrative that they're desperately trying to push here. I'm seeing defund the police, soft on crime policies, this refusal to deal with the homelessness and mental illness epidemic spilling out on the streets, more so than this horrible act of hate. But that's what they're pushing, of course, and it really doesn't make any sense, especially when you account for the fact that, well, there was no act of hate, no act of hate crime towards this person.
Yeah.
She was simply surrounded.
It's just like the same narrative that they try and push with the petty guy during ICE, the guy who got shot. They try and make it look like he was just standing there on the sidewalk with his sign, and they came at him, attacked him.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit?
And he ended up getting shot when he was kicking their vehicles, getting aggressive, getting in the way. And it wasn't the first time. So it's like they're always trying to paint a narrative, man. And it's like, and they've been doing it since the beginning of this country. It's just now people like myself are able to, well, not everybody, but like I said, I always feel like I'm a pretty good bullshit meter. But people are able to confirm their suspicions because everybody's got a phone and there's video and there's cameras everywhere. Like I said, I hate this police state kind of, damn it, what's the book called? Orson Welles, 1940. Why can't I remember anything when I do these?
Cause you're a fucking retard!
great book, even though I can't remember the title exactly. You know, that's not cool, but at the same time, it's kind of helping a lot of this bullshit. So it's kind of it's hurting and it helps. I don't know. It's kind of crazy though.
By a group of individuals engaging in their First Amendment right. You know, if you really think about it, maybe it is true that Patriot Front's views are extreme. I don't know. I haven't exactly read their, mission statement. From what I understand, and this is, again, assuming that they're not basically an SPLC PSYOP organization. They're nationalists, arguably white nationalists. They want to preserve the heritage of the country. They're anti-immigration, you know, yada, yada. Which really, if you think about it, as the Overton window has shifted so significantly, it's not even necessarily that far off from the stance that a lot of mainstream Western governments are even taking these days. But let's grant it to you that this is a real organization, not an SPLC front, and that their views are extreme. Well, they were simply peacefully assembling and exercising their First Amendment rights. They didn't touch the woman. They didn't threaten her. I don't believe they have a history of engagement.
See, remember in the last video where it's like, oh, they let our cameras come and see their whatever. So it's like, okay, here they'll let you see their faces and hanging out, and then it shows them like doing a fake like cross burning, and you can see some people, but some are wearing the hoods, right, of their brand new, newly made, tailored KKK outfits.
A bullshit?
But then these guys are completely covered up. So like, how come? I think it's because they're covered up. I mean, yeah, maybe some people, they don't want it to get out, but really, is it? I see it more as they're not really part of this. It is a PSYOP, and they don't want to get made to prove that it's a PSYOP. That's why they're all covered up.
Exactly.
Not because they're worried about retaliation.
Engaging with people violently or aggressively, or engaging in hateful rhetoric, which again is protected by the First Amendment even if they did. But just sticking to this particular case, they didn't even engage with this person in any meaningful way. Yet the media is running with this across the board, so many different outlets, as if this was some sort of a horrible act of violent hate and a confrontation. It is literally not that. And that's kind of the irony that's now being pointed out. The supposed enemy from within, these guys, the Patriot Front people, apparently pose a massive threat. But if you think about it, in that particular shot, the metro appears more peaceful than normal. They're supposedly spawns of chaos, but things appear rather orderly. I mean, clearly there's something to be said there, right? And then comes another point of heightened hypocrisy. The fact that the media was so quick to jump on this optics display, this case on public transportation.
White nationalist group Patriot Front marching through the streets of D.C. on the 4th of July.
I mean, that
DC police tell us the group dispersed without any arrests. Well, can you walk us through what actually happened on that train? Was there any chatting?
Is that the dude that was in that picture?
From the pictures there, it looked pretty tense.
It was actually, they were quite civil.
No shit!
They were talking among themselves, and I rode with them for more than 20 minutes.
Zena can be seen sitting on a metro train, surrounded by masked men, wearing the...
Yeah, because they're not going to do anything to get arrested, because then it would come out that they're actually not part of it, and it is a PSYOP, and it's all
bullshit.
Uniform of the white supremacist group Patriot Front.
Their message to America is that it is for whites only. And that's their main goal, is publicity. And that's what a lot of extremist groups go for.
And this, of course, being the same media that went completely silent after Irina Zarutska was murdered. A young white woman who was brutally attacked, stabbed in the neck by a black man with a long criminal history.
Man, that, if you haven't seen it, so that photo is right after she got stabbed. And she died seconds later because she hit her artery, she bled out, and she died. It's very sad.
Who, after stabbing her, said, quote, "I got the white girl," an act of clear racial violence towards a white person, resulting in a homicide, mind you, and also highlighting the Democrat failures on public safety and basic societal order. The fact that a very clearly mentally ill, deranged career criminal had been released 14 to 15, 16, 17 times, I forget the exact number, back onto the streets to reoffend, and that resulted in an innocent girl essentially getting hate crime to death. Well, that photo that you see everybody post of Irina Zarutska sitting there, and of course the reaction from the individuals on the bus after she was brutally stabbed, that certainly portrayed a certain optics story, an optics message, and I'd argue one that is a whole lot more concerning and actually grounded in reality and facts.
But see, this is what I was talking about in my last video, and as I was editing it, I kind of felt like I kind of came off asshole or more of a racist, I guess. What I was saying, with the, because now I'm like starting to question whether they even were actually real at all. But the KKK, I know I've seen clips of something. Now I don't know if it was real or not, but or racist people, they were afraid of integration because, you know, they're going to mess up the world, make it a jungle, you know, all the racist rhetoric kind of stuff, right? And I said that it's sad because they are being proven true. And here's a situation right here. You know what I mean? You're on a train, there's full of black folks, one white person gets stabbed. I mean, people are getting pushed on train tracks all over. There's so much crap going on that many people don't even know because the liberal media won't talk about it. Plus, you know, like you see like the crazy like cruise ships and at the malls, the big fights and the brawls on the beach and just all this chaotic mess going on right now. And it's like black folks, again, not all of them, but they are proving if these racist, you know, KKK, white supremacy people actually existed as they are portrayed in history, they're proving them right. You know what I mean? So it's like, and that's fucked up. But anyway, I digress.
The current environment of Democrat cities and racial division in the country, but the mainstream media didn't give it the light of day. They didn't attempt any optics framing. In fact, they didn't even cover it. They barely covered it at all. But the second they have a situation like this that is totally peaceful, no actual aggression occurred.
And that right there should tell you all you need to know. Why did they not talk about this, but they're like trying to make this out to something that it's not? Hello?
Hello?
Really no threat of aggression at all, again, considering the fact that these Patriot Front members, whether you agree with them or not, whether you think their views are extreme or not, they seem to just kind of like walk around with flags wearing khaki pants. They have the right to do so. The First Amendment protects that activity, regardless of whether or not you find their viewpoints offensive. But that, of course, is the big story. That's the big threat that people face on the streets in DC and Trump's America. They're playing a game, folks. They're playing a freaking game. They manufacture outrage, they manufacture narratives, and they're deceitful ways, once again, are on full display here. Anyways, that's what I got. Thanks for watching.
As per usual.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
And the thing is like, again, you know, there are racist people, and a lot of the crap that's going on right now is probably bringing actual people. I mean, this group, like he said, what were they called again? See, it seems like that's like part of the plan, part of keeping us divided, keeping us hating each other. Because in my last video, like I said, it was like non-existent, and you had like the stupid documentary, that I was watching that looked just as fake as everything going on now. So that stuff's not working. They're still doing it, but it's not working. So what they're doing is they're letting individuals who commit crimes, they let them out, and they keep committing crimes. They keep letting like them get away with all this stuff, and you're gonna make people not like that type of person, and they're gonna blame them instead of the system. Not everybody, but some.
I totally agree with you.
So they're creating racists. The SPLC creates racists instead of trying to fight it. You know, it's like, what the crap, dude?
I don't know. Do you? I don't know. Do you? I think you do.
Patriot Front. Is that what they're called? Patriot Front? Okay, I'm going to look them up real quick. You know, they're probably all ran by, like SPLC type individuals. Review as an American far-right activist known for founding the leading neo-Nazi and white supremacist group, Patriot Front. See, I don't know, just it kind of makes me think that they're not even real. And if you don't like the immigration policy, you're far-right, you're a Nazi. If you don't like, you know, the certain thing, you're far-right. Far right, far right, far right. I mean, you see that everywhere. I guess I'll go to their website. Screw it. It's probably, I think it's a fake thing. It's definitely, I'm sure, probably funded and ran, but they recruit people who probably agree with their messaging. Because like I said, I'm not saying there's no racist people, but they're trying to create the racism. This was on the news right here. They're getting in U-Haul trucks. I don't know, dude.
Dude, what does mine say?
Manifesto. Let's see what that is. Our cruel and unrelenting enemies leave us no choice but a brave resistance. Blah, blah, blah. George Washington. Better to fight. George Patton. Democracy has failed America. Like, so you could see why certain individuals might fall. It's just like the young individuals who fall to Palestine and LB alphabet.
Oh, cool, you made him cry.
100%. I bet you, without a doubt, this Patriot Front was probably help funded by the SPLC, and the people that are that are in charge of it are not legit. But they probably have individuals who are recruited are actually, you know, fall in line with this kind of stuff. It's insane. Anyway, let me know what you think. Appreciate your time, and God bless. Bye.
Until rain, through the dust and setting sun. There were many brave souls on that lonely fob, but none fought like the white line.